There was a lot of things that happened this week. So, since it's Friday, we're going to catch you up on everything that happened, like an alien being found in Mexico. All of that and more on today's episode.
Facts over tracks, this and that, spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past.
Today, since we have a lot to catch up on, we're just going to do a kind of recap of the whole week in less than 5 minutes. So, here we go. Rolling Stone comes out with an article that only Nazis like DeSantis, which is normal because a Nazi is anyone the left does not like. Authorities uncover explosives at our southern border. You know what that means? Absolutely nothing. Nothing will change and it never will under this administration. Talking about authorities, a UFO researcher has found aliens from millions of years ago in Mexico, and the aliens kind of look like a combination of Joe Biden and E.T. put together. Speaking of BS, Trump was found guilty of defaming E. Carroll, the lady who said that he did some sexual things to her at a department store in the year 1990, but waited 30 years to tell us for some reason. Speaking of stupid actions, the Maryland Elementary School is now requiring students to mask up again. Speaking of stupid people in charge, Mitch McConnell phrases up in the middle of his speech for the second time. Joe Biden runs away from his ceremony for the Medal of Honor on 9/11. Joe Biden sent $6 billion to Iran, a terrorist regime. Talking of sending money overseas, Joe Biden just sent $175 million more to Ukraine, but that's not enough for Zelensky, so he's coming down to Capitol Hill so we can request some more in person. Joe Rogan says that child transitioning is child mutilation. The governor of California just signed an executive order to study the use of AI. Also, they're trying to remove Trump from the ballot in some states, but the last time that they did this was for George Washington and ended up in civil war. A scientist comes out and says that he lied about climate change amid a gas price surge. The United States will end its agreement with Alaska for oil fracking. North Korea leader Kim Jong-un is going to meet up with Russian leader Vladimir Putin amid United States sending billions of dollars to Ukraine. Scientists grow a whole human embryo without sperm or an egg. Hillary Clinton is going to talk at the White House for the International Art Summit, but I think it would be better for Hunter to speak there. And last but not least, the NPR CEO will retire by the end of the year. And nothing will change about that company. They're still going to be stupid. So that was your weekly roundoff. With that being said, we're going to dig into the headlines of the week. Starting off, we actually have a Daily Wire article. We have DeSantis unveils billboards in Democrat state seeking to recruit law enforcement officers to Florida. So I completely agree with this because of the fact that he actually respects the police. Florida respects the police and other states don't. So of course, he's going to be saying, listen, if you want to be respected, come to Florida. This is what the article says. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis announced on Thursday that the state will launch a billboard campaign in Chicago, Illinois to recruit law enforcement officers to the state of Florida. Quote, we are launching law enforcement recruitment boards in Chicago where crime rates are soaring and officers are unappreciated. DeSantis wrote on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter. While dozens of Illinois officers have already relocated to Florida, we look forward to welcoming many more with open arms and a $5,000 bonus. The billboard shows an image of a police officer who says citizenship matters, law enforcement matters. Make the smart move to Florida. The billboard added $5,000 bonus for new recruitment officers. The billboard directs those who are interested to visit floridajobs.org. A statement from the governor's office highlighted the contrast in operating environment the recruits face in Illinois versus Florida. Under Illinois' law, foreign nationals are now able to become police officers. Additionally, earlier this year, Illinois became the first state to completely eliminate its cash bail system, allowing dangerous criminals back in communities. In contrast, Governor DeSantis has signed a historic law and order legislation for 3 consecutive years, including House Bill 1627 earlier this year, which protects Floridians from these dangerous bail reform policies being pushed by liberal politicians and prosecutors in high crime jurisdictions across the country. Florida strongly supports law enforcement and continuously enacted common sense criminal law policies to help keep communities safe. DeSantis added, we stand behind our citizen officers and give them the tools to succeed professionally and personally. Other states stupidize non-citizens, enact policies that favor criminals over victims, and work to or covertly defund the police, but not in Florida. I look forward to welcoming the Illinois men and women in blue to the law enforcement and order state. And I completely agree, because we need more police officers in the force, and if you're not going to be appreciated, go somewhere that you will be appreciated, because there is a place in the United States that you are appreciated. Hey, you don't need to be spit on in New York during a BLM protest. No. Move to Florida and you will have your rights as a police officer, or not even as a police officer, as a citizen. You should not be spit on for no reason just for standing there. That's stupid. Moving on to the next Daily Wire article, we have Attorneys General warns financial institutions of anarchist violations over climate activism. 22 state attorneys general, led by Tennessee's Jonathan Grudeme, are warning financial services companies that they might be violating antitrust or consumer protection laws by engaging in climate activist alliance armed at achieving net zero carbon emissions. The letter to financial services provide that the signatories to the Net Zero Financial Service Providers Alliance, NZFSPA, which is identified as a global group of service providers committed to supporting the goal of a global net zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2050 or sooner. We are writing to express our concern that your NZFSPA commitments may violate the state or federal law, including antitrust laws and consumer protection laws, the letter states. Although many NZFSPA signatories are direct competitors with each other, they nonetheless commit to using their market to enforce their collective climate agenda in the broader economy. The attorneys general also remarked that many companies may have no choice but to comply with your policy provisions, requiring them to restrict further the variety and output of goods and services that are not aligned with your activist climate agenda because of the extraordinary market power of the participants in the agreement. And I completely agree. If the biggest manufacturers for every single thing, so let's just say that you own a restaurant business, and every single one of your suppliers for your food says, if you do not do this, this, and this, and we cannot sell to you, then you cannot operate your business because of the fact that you don't have anyone else to go to. So that's antitrust. You don't have anyone else to go to. You're a monopoly. You're all competing with each other. And I mean, yes, you could say that I'm all competing with each other, but then if you all agree you'll get this community and you'll get this community, then it's like it's a joint effort. So nobody else can compete with you because you already took all of those people. You're in agreement with each other to do the same exact thing. With that being said, though, we're going to end off this episode here because this is all we have time for today. But Monday, we will cover all the rest of the list of things that we need to cover, and we will cover them in more depth. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. If you did like this episode, please like and subscribe down below because I do post new episodes of the show every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day.